Afternoon. As we have the opportunity to meet with key decision makers much like yourself, who have the responsibility for influencing and maximizing company efficiencies as it relates to their operation. One of the things we hear about the most that you guys are challenged with is the tool and rental process. These three numbers tell a story about the need for improved visibility and accountability, as well as streamlining processes and operations, in addition to cost reduction and cost control. In a recent study done by Texas A&M, they found that 82% of customers agreed that an increase in rental utilization would also lead to an increase in operational ROI. However, in the same study, 46% of customers admitted that they currently do not track rental utilization. Now, based on data that RRC has gathered over several years, we found that on average, 24% of transactions are out past the estimated return date. This resulting in a duration of 15 days. So leaders like yourself share with us the effects of equipment management as it relates to short-term and long-term strategies. Here's another way to look at it. Utilization equals profit. So let's take a look at today's rental scenario. Today, you'll see there's decentralization that occurs. While necessary, decentralization can sometimes hinder companies' future operations for excellence. There's also various systems in place for tracking equipment. You'll see there's numerous vendors that are in play, as well as multiple employees, and not to mention the various crafts that need the right equipment at the right time. So what are the effects of this rental scenario as you see it today? Well, often there's rental redundancies and there's duplication that occurs where there's too much equipment on rent. There's also, as we mentioned before, several items that are out past the estimated return date, resulting in things being out too long. And then this whole process within itself, there's just excessive complexity that's occurring, that's leaving things to be too complex. So what are the results, you may ask, of too long, too much, and too complex? So there's excessive amount of dollars that are spent. In addition to, there's an excessive amount of time that's spent, as well as limited productivity with your employees, which, as you know, is your greatest asset. This, at best, is a fragmented rental process that's reactive. And quite frankly, Mr. Northstar, this is putting your organization at risk. So the greatest risk, however, is not planning for future growth. And equipment management is the biggest effect future growth can have. Equipment management can be the biggest effect on future growth. Failure to move from today's reactive process keeps your company from operational excellence. Let's take a look at how companies today are managing this risk. Typically, you probably guessed, is done by price. Did you know that price only has 1/6 the amount of financial impact that too much, too long, and too complex does? Well, I can tell you today that companies like yourself are working with RSC to bridge the gap from today to the future for a desired outcome of growth. Only by working with RSC can you meet the goals of your organization. Let's take a look at 3 goals from other customers. The first one is improved visibility and accountability. What if you had the opportunity to have the insight into your current process to manage the too much and too long? Well, the good news is with RSC's industry-exclusive technology, such as Total Control, you can now manage those items by setting up reports for users. We also have GPS technology that can reduce the time of a fleet that's out in the field. Let's take another look at a second goal. Streamlining processes and operations. What if your company had the ability to maximize productivity in the field by leaving the hassle to someone else? With RSC's dedicated account support through managed services, we have the ability to help you maximize your productivity by managing this process for you. Here's one other goal. Cost reduction and cost control. What if your company had the ability to measure the overall success of the rental process? The good news is with RSC's key performance indicators, we can benchmark your results versus other customers in your industry, as well as providing monthly and quarterly KPI reporting. All of these goals combined are what is called RSC's consumption management model. Now, Mr. Northstar, while this may be a new premises to you, the good news is that this is a new strategy, but other customers like yourself are actually already achieving 6 times the amount of cost savings as that of what Price can gather. So, to get the right equipment at the right time, by streamlining processes, improving visibility and accountability, with cost control and cost reduction, sets the stage for the future. This is the heart of consumption management. One other thing I can tell you is that if you want to get from a fragmented reactive process to a repeatable program that's proactive in nature and eliminate the risk, then the only path forward is to work with RSC. This is what best-in-class customers are doing. By working together with you and RSC, we can achieve these results together. I wanted to share with you 3 numbers from another customer similar to yourself. This is a major oil and gas company who is challenged with utilization. They found from these 3 numbers, by targeting an increase in utilization on certain CAT class items, they had a 35% increase in utilization on those items. What this led to was a reduction in spend by 28% of their costs as it pertains to the rental category. And they did this with just 3 months' time. Now I'd like to ask you today, what do you think? Are you ready to move forward with a program for your company?